I want to read you something real quick. Amazon, 14,000 corporate jobs gone, cited AI. Workday, 1,750 jobs gone, cited AI. And those are just the ones that made headlines. In 2025 alone, nearly 55,000 job cuts were directly attributed to AI. And in just the first 2 months of 2026, tech firms had already cut another 32,000 positions. Now, I'm not reading those numbers to scare you. I'm reading them because your Uncle Tim believes you deserve the truth, not the watered-down, don't worry about it version. Because the people who are going to be okay through this transition are the people who see it coming and make a plan. That's what this video is. Your plan. Before we get into the numbers and the strategies, let me tell you how I'd frame this. If you were my nephew sitting across from me right now, I'd say, this is real. It's happening, and it's going to affect more people than most are willing to admit. But, and this is the part I need you to hear, it is not happening all at once. It is not affecting everyone equally. And there is a very clear playbook for protecting yourself financially while the dust settles. The people who panic and do nothing lose. The people who stick their head in the sand and pretend this isn't happening lose. The people who get informed, get strategic, and get moving. They're going to be just fine. I'm going to give you the full picture today. What AI is actually doing to jobs right now, which jobs are most at risk, which jobs are the safest, and then the exact financial moves you need to make to protect yourself. Let's go. Let's start with where we actually are, because there's a lot of noise out there and I want to cut through it. Goldman Sachs projects that generative AI could replace the equivalent of 25 million full-time jobs in 2026 alone, and up to 270 million by 2030. Now, that is the upper end of projections, and most economists think the real number will be lower. But even at half that, we're talking about a historic disruption of the workforce. In the United States, 59% of jobs have some level of AI exposure. That's more than half the working population. And in advanced economies, where most of us live and work, that number jumps to 60%. Now here's what's really important to understand, and this is what the headlines miss. AI is not triggering mass layoffs all at once. Instead, companies are getting more output from the same workforce, hiring fewer new people, and quietly closing the door on entry-level positions. The first jobs to disappear are often outsourced roles, call centers, agencies, offshore support, which makes the early impact easy to miss. It doesn't always show up in traditional employment data. So if you're sitting there thinking, well, I still have my job, so I must be fine, your job may still exist. But the path to getting promoted, the entry-level pipeline below you, and the next job you might want, those are already changing. And nephew, that matters for your money. Okay, let's talk about which jobs are most exposed, because this is where Uncle Tim needs to be straight with you, even if it's uncomfortable. The pattern is clear across every major research institution. The jobs at highest risk are those built on repetition and predictable tasks, regardless of whether they're blue-collar or white-collar. Here are the ones with the highest exposure right now. Customer service and call centers, up to 80% automation potential, driven by AI chatbots and voice agents already replacing frontline support roles. This is already happening at scale. One company replaced 27 customer service agents with an AI chatbot and cut costs by 99%. Data entry and clerical roles, about 6.1 million US clerical and administrative workers are at high risk, and manual data entry roles face a 95% automation risk because AI systems can now process over 1,000 documents per hour with less than 0.1% error rate. Retail cashiers and bank teller jobs are projected to drop 15% by 2033, and cashier employment may fall 11%, removing over 350,000 retail jobs. entry-level white-collar roles, this one surprises people. Employment among developers aged 22 to 25 has fallen nearly 20% from its late 2022 peak. Software development job postings have fallen 53% from that same point. AI isn't just coming for blue-collar work. It's coming for the first rung of the career ladder for young professionals. Now here's the stat that I need every woman watching this to hear, because this is not talked about enough. In the United States, 79% of employed women work in jobs at high risk of automation, compared to 58% of men. Women are disproportionately concentrated in administrative and clerical roles that AI is targeting first. That is an equity issue as much as it is an economic one. I'm not telling you any of this to make you feel hopeless. I'm telling you because the first step to protecting yourself is knowing exactly what you're dealing with. Okay, enough of the scary stuff. Let's talk about where you want to be. Because here's the thing, the World Economic Forum projects 170 million new roles will be created and 92 million displaced by 2030. That's a net gain of 78 million jobs worldwide. The picture isn't all doom. There is a brighter side, but you have to position yourself to be on it. So what makes a job AI resistant? Uncle Tim's simple test. If AI would need a body, a soul, or a license to do your job, you're protected. Let me break that down. Jobs requiring physical presence in variable environments. Electricians score 94 out of 100 on AI resistance and earn $62,000. Plumbers score 91 and earn $63,000. HVAC technicians score 88 and earn $57,000. Elevator installers score 91 and earn $102,000 with just a high school diploma and apprenticeship. AI cannot physically show up at your house and fix your pipes. Period. Jobs requiring human judgment and relationships. Nurse practitioners earn $129,000. Physician assistants earn $133,000. Financial managers earn $156,000. These roles require trust, nuance, emotion, and ethical accountability that AI cannot replicate, at least not anytime soon. Jobs in growing sectors, care, education, construction, renewable energy, cybersecurity, are all growing even as AI expands. These are the sectors adding jobs, not losing them. Here's the mindset shift Uncle Tim needs you to make. The question is no longer, is my job safe? The question is, am I building skills that complement AI rather than compete with it? BCG's 2026 research found that in most roles, AI is reshaping work rather than eliminating it. But workers who don't adapt will be left behind by those who do. The gap between those who learn to use AI as a tool and those who ignore it is growing every single month. All right, nephew, this is the part Uncle Tim came to deliver. Because knowing what AI is doing matters, but knowing what to do about your money is everything. Here are the 5 financial moves I would tell you to make right now if you were sitting at my kitchen table. Move number 1, build a bigger emergency fund now. Your standard advice is 3 to 6 months of expenses. In an AI-disrupted job market, Uncle Tim says aim for 6 to 9 months. Why? Because if your role gets automated or your company does a quiet restructuring, job searches are taking longer than they used to, especially at entry and mid-level. You want a cushion that buys you time to make a smart next move instead of a desperate one. This is non-negotiable. Start building it today. Move number 2. Never have just one income stream. I say this all the time on this channel, but I am saying it again louder today. A single employer paying a single salary is the most financially vulnerable position you can be in during a period of AI disruption. Start building a side income, even a small one. The difference between losing out and moving ahead will come down to timing, skills, and access. A $500 a month side hustle won't make you rich, but it could be the bridge that keeps you from burning through savings if your primary income gets disrupted. Move number 3. Invest in your own skills before the market forces you to. Over 40% of workers will require significant upskilling by 2030. The question is whether you do it on your timeline, proactively, or on your employer's timeline, reactively, when it may already be too late. Take one online course. Learn one AI tool that's relevant to your field. Become the person at your company who understands how to use these tools rather than the person being replaced by them. That positioning difference is career-defining right now. Move number 4. Start investing in assets that work regardless of the job market. Here is Uncle Tim's fundamental truth. A paycheck is the most fragile form of income that exists. It requires one person, your employer, to keep paying it. Assets are different. An index fund keeps growing whether you have a job or not. A rental property throws off income whether you have a job or not. A dividend portfolio pays you while you sleep. I'm not saying quit your job. I am saying start building things that don't depend on someone else's decision about your employment. Even $100 a month into a low-cost index fund is a start. The time to start is before you need it. Move number 5. Know your AI exposure score and have a plan B. Honestly, ask yourself, how much of my job is repetitive? How much of it could be described as a set of predictable rules that a computer could learn? If the answer is quite a bit, that's not a reason to panic. That's a reason to have a transition plan sitting in your back pocket. What adjacent role could you move into? What skills would make you more valuable? What industry is growing rather than contracting? You don't have to act on it today. But knowing your answer to those questions is the difference between being blindsided and being prepared. I want to say something before we wrap up. A lot of people are scared right now, and I get it. I genuinely do. You got a degree, you built a career, and now something is changing the rules on you mid-game. And nobody asked your permission. Nobody sent you a memo. It's just happening. That feeling is valid. Your uncle is not going to tell you it isn't. But here's what I've learned watching how people navigate hard economic transitions. And this is as true today as it was during the Industrial Revolution, the shift to computers, and the internet disruption. The people who come out ahead are never the ones who had the most certainty. They're the ones who stayed curious, stayed adaptable, and refused to let fear make their decisions for them. The most significant labor market effects of AI will materialize between 2027 and 2030. That means you have a window. Right now, in 2026, you have time to build your emergency fund, diversify your income, upgrade your skills, and start building assets. That window will not be open forever. If you were my nephew, and right now you are, I would look you in the eye and tell you, the people who treat this moment as a wake-up call will look back and call it the best thing that ever happened to their finances. The people who ignore it will wonder why they didn't start sooner. Start now. Uncle Tim's got your back. Here's your Uncle Tim action plan one more time. 1. The disruption is real. 25 million jobs equivalent this year alone. Don't look away from that number. 2. The most at-risk jobs, customer service, data entry, clerical roles, retail, and entry-level white-collar positions. 3. The most protected jobs, skilled trades, healthcare, financial management, cybersecurity, and anything requiring physical presence or human judgment. 4. Your 5 financial moves. Bigger emergency fund, multiple income streams, invest in your skills now. Build assets that don't depend on your employer, and know your AI exposure score. 5. You have a window. Use it. Now I want to hear from you. What industry are you in? And are you worried about AI affecting your job? Drop it in the comments. No judgment, just an honest conversation. Uncle Tim reads every single one. If this video helped you think more clearly about what's coming, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Not to scare them, to prepare them. That's what we do for people we care about. Hit subscribe, because Uncle Tim has a lot more to help you navigate in the months ahead. I'll see you in the next one. Stay smart, stay ready. Now go build something.